Alright, I'm here again. Sorry for the broken upload schedule. Anyway, so let's make this quick. I'll show you how to improve your Eevee render on Minecraft render thingies. You get the point, right? Anyway, so let's start from this. So you already imported your world, adding the sun, but things looks pretty bland. Your next step is selecting the sun and on shadow enable contact shadow on cascade shadow map. As you can see from distance, there's no shadow. You want to increase that so that the shadow start appears like that, as you can see. So it's let's just make it 350 meters away. And the next step is change the strength of the sun into 5 and the angle into 5. I don't know why, but my habit just making me change the angle to 5. I don't know what it does actually, really. Anyway, so now that the sun is here, and go to the shading tab and change from object to world, and make sure to enable node wrangler on the edit preference add-ons node wrangler. You're gonna need this. It's really helpful. On the background, press Ctrl T. Wait, no, Ctrl. Yeah, on the background, don't select the word output like me. So Control T, and we'll add environment texture and open a texture, and open an HDRI texture. Sorry, HDRI texture. Yes. So don't open a PNG file. I already tried. I'll convert the HDRI into a PNG. It doesn't work really well. So download an HDR file from Polyhaven or HDR Heaven, and change to render tab. Now your scene looks way too bright than it's supposed to be, so turn down the strength to like a 0.3, I guess 0.35, and added in a light path, also a mix shader in front of the background. Duplicate the background region, Shift D, input the color into there, and added in a math node right below the background. Input the color into the value, change it into power, and change the exponent to 0.3, and connect the value into the strength. Connect this strength into the bottom one, and is camera ray from light path to the factor. Now you will get a bright sky without messing around with the lights on the scene. Now because the sun is facing like here, you need to rotate the sun of the HDRI by rotating the C to somewhere over here like this. And what you want to do next is move down, because as you can see the HDRI showing the background. So move down the C, hold shift to move it really slowly. Yes, right about that. Go to camera mode. Let me switch up to slot 2 and hit render. So just from adding the sky, we came from this into this. Still a bit better, but not really great to look at. It's still pretty bland. The next step is the material. Now press on the world or the main object, switch from world to object, and if for some reason your image texture interpolation is linear, switch it to the closest. Same for the alpha texture, and added in an ambient occlusion in between the color, and go to the render tab, enable ambient occlusion, bloom, screen space reflection, and refraction inside of that. Volumetric, you can also enable the volumetric shadow too. If you zoom in, you can see that there's a shadow when you enable the ambient occlusion. Create the effect of the smooth lighting turn on Minecraft. I usually set the distance to 2, and it's depend on your preference. Now for water, go to edit mode by pressing tab. Select just one of the water like that, and on the bottom left, it's usually set as image editor. Switch that to UV editor. Scroll to the right, click on this image icon, select your color texture, and press A. As you can see, there's something happening if you spam A. So zoom into that water UV map and turn on this arrow thing, press C and you'll get this circle, or press B and you get this. You select all of the thing inside of the water and then turn this off again, because some water doesn't get selected, like this one. So you select that by holding shift and click and it will get selected. You zoom out and then press A and A again. As you can see, there's another one over here. So you zoom into here and turn on this double arrow again and select everything inside. Now back to the scene, press P and separate by selection. Or you can also press mesh and then split by selection. Usually on the top right like this, I switch into bottom because I prefer it this way. Now exit the edit mode, select your water and press this duplicate material icon. Delete all of these three. Change the base color to whatever you want. You can also turn it into green to make it like a goo or something that Shrek would like to swim on. Anyway, I'll switch it to somewhere like this kind of bluish. And then roughness, turn it all the way down and transmission all the way up. Specular 2. And added in a noise texture along with a bump node in front. Connect the factor into the height, connect the normal into the normal. Zoom in, you don't see any difference because you need to increase the scale at 64 and then detail, and you get better water. And if you want to, press N or go to the material, scroll all the way down. From blend mode, change to alpha blend, and for shadow mode, change to opaque. It also works over here. And turn on the screen space refraction. You'll get this now. Now you may be saying, now the water is not reflecting anything. Well, you can switch to opaque, but that will make, actually that doesn't work, never mind. So just stick it to alpha blend. I'll show you later on how to reflect the water. Now the water looks way too blue, so you can just turn down the brightness to make it a bit more darker color. And let me switch to 3 and hit render. Now you get I forgot to press the button, sorry. And now you get this. So we come from this into this and change the material into this. It looks way more better than before, but it's something is still missing because you can see the edge of the world and the sky is just you know, not great to look at. Now the next step is going to be a bit more complicated than the water part. So now select your camera and on the viewport camera tab, viewport display, turn on mist and zoom out, change the view to wireframe and go to the this words option, mist path, change the start to whatever you want. I usually start like around here, 100. I guess that works, and then change to 150, I guess. Okay, that also works. So what you want the tab ended up is just barely reaching the edge of the word like this. It's barely reaching out the end. It's off angle, so it's fine. Because if you put it way like this, way over, the mist won't cover up the edge of the word. So that's why you want to put it just on the edge or before the edge. Right, that's great. And go to the view layer and this icon and then turn on Z mist normal along with emission, environment, shadow, and ambient occlusion. You're probably gonna need this if you wanna tweak out in the compositor later on. Now the next step is go to the from object to world and add it in a volume. principal volume, connect it into the word output volume. When you change view to render, you cannot see anything, and just change the density to 0.001 and change the color to fit your scene. There's a slight change in color, as you can see. It's not much, but it helps. Now, added it to fix the reflection. Shift A, create a new reflection cube map and scale it up so that it will fill up all the water that is in your scene, or the camera can catch, or within the camera range. You get the point. So scale it up, move it, and scale it up again. This is enough. You don't need to see the reflection from way far ahead like that. So now go to the render tab and then scroll down to the indirect lighting, pick cube map only. Now the water looks somewhat bit more better. You probably want to adjust the color once again because it's going to be a bit way too bright. Alright, I guess around here is nice. Now next step is the most painful for someone that is new to Blender, compositing. I guess creating the water the water shader is already confusing enough. This will get a bit more confusing, so please endure it. So switching to slot 4 and render it out again so we can see the difference and all that. So go to compositing tab, use node, enable that, press Ctrl Shift left click. You can see the image that you render in the background. Press V to zoom out, Alt V to zoom in, Alt and middle click to move around. Now first add in map value, connect it into the mist and add in a mix node and duplicate it. Gonna need to and move this a bit more to the right. Connect the image into here and the map value of mist into the factor and connect this into here and Ctrl Shift left click this. Actually, Ctrl F this one first. Change the color of the mist into the one that fits your scene. This is sunset, so I'll put it like over this color. Now, what's the point of the map value? The map value is used to change the mist that you can see the sky, but because we can see the edge of the world over here, we're gonna need to set it to 1. This is something that's just in case. Now, how do you fix the sky? Now, this is a bit complicated, so please endure it. So create a new color ramp, connect the environment texture, not the environment output into the factor, and add in a blur. Just right. Ignore what that guy was saying. Connect into the blur, the image input of the blur, and turn on relative. Set the X to 20, set the Y to 40, and then connect the image into the factor and environment into the image, and Control Shift left click this. You will see now the sky is back again. You can adjust the mist, how thick of it, by using the color ramp. I guess I'll leave it as default. It's already good at that. Okay. Oh, okay, got connected. Now, what you want next to do next is adding in a glare. Connect this into the compositor and reduce down the threshold. It depends on your scene too. Make sure to make it too bright, or it will cause a lot of problem. When I said too bright, it's something like this. Yes, this is too bright. Or unless you want to create like a nostalgia effect kind of thing, that also works. I'll set my nets around here, I guess. And fade off a bit more down. So tweak around with this, play around with it, and you'll find the one that you fit the most. Now, because the mist is a bit orangish while the sky is blue, you can add a hue saturation value in here between the environment that's connecting to the second mix. And change the hue. And that's too much. And wait for a bit to render. And I guess that's alright. Or a bit too much. Yes, this is the fine one. And now the clear doesn't show anything. I need to reduce down the threshold. And adjust the fade again. Or you can also change to the fog glows, that also works. Now, I forgot to mention this, but in the color management, you probably by default set to filmic. Change this into standard and your scene will look much more better. But if you know how to color grade, stick this to filmic and start color grading at the very front or at the very back. It depends on you, which one you want. So if you don't know how to color grade, I recommend you sticking to standard. And here goes the result. So we came from this, into this, into this, and into this. It's not the greatest, but it looks better than what it was before. So every scene is different, so you kinda want to tweak around here and there, and there's a floating leaves over there, and yeah, it's not the greatest, but at least it looks somewhat a bit better. I guess that's all of it. You can ask something if you don't understand which part in the comment. I'll try to answer it. And thanks for watching. See you again sometime.